I'm making this video because I'm angry and because I'm sad. It seems like old news to talk about Proposition 8 again. This is a law that was passed a year ago in November, basically stating that in the state of California, homosexual marriage is no longer legally recognized. It's not old news, and it is a situation that is held in precarious balance right now. There is a court case that opened today. It's Perry versus Schwarzenegger, and basically it's two couples, a gay couple and a lesbian couple, and they are taking a case against the state of California, claiming that California does not have the right to limit the civil liberties of a minority group. Basically what this is all about is whether gay people have the right to marry other gay people. It's honestly such a ridiculous question to me. I don't understand how in a culture that proclaims gender equality, how we can even differentiate between two genders within a marital union. If we're not segregating by gender, then how can we segregate by gender on top of gender? It's a 2-point gender class segregation. All of that aside, it's a pretty important case. Basically, this is a case that has the potential to go to the Supreme Court. And so even though I don't live in the state of California, and I may never, it's not only a case in the state that tends to shape the values of our country, but it's a case that could have a ruling that affects the entirety of the United States. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. I don't know why more people don't acknowledge that civil union is not a fair substitute for marriage, whether it be from a nostalgic perspective, from a perspective of, I want to be able to call some woman my wife, whether it be from a logistical perspective. What happens if I fall in love with someone who's not an American? My sister's able to marry an Irishman, and through marriage, they're able to guarantee his right to stay in the country. They're able to guarantee the security of their children, that they would know in choosing to start a family that there are going to be two parents, and that he's not going to be pushed out of the country as somebody that doesn't belong. Were I in the same situation with a woman, I wouldn't have that security. We would be in a situation where we would have to gamble on the lives of our children, whether or not she would even be there to see them grow up. You can look at medical equality in a situation where one person within the relationship is put into a medical emergency. Is the partner allowed to be in the room? Are they considered part of the family, or are they considered some acquaintance who doesn't belong? Is the person who has the right to make medical decisions going to be the person that I trust most in the world? Or is it going to be some distant family member that steps in because I don't have a wife? It's a pretty important case, and it's a pretty important question for our culture. I think there's only one answer that's clear. It's just a question of how long we're willing to drag out a fight to keep hatred in the air, and to keep shitting on a class of people who are defined only through love. I mean, think about it. When you say homosexuals, you know simply that they love people of their own gender. You don't know that they're kinky, you don't even know that they're sexually active. You simply know that they love. So why spew hate at love? I want to start a dialogue. I want to get people talking. I think that this is a war brewing beneath our surface, and I think it's appalling that we're not talking about the rights of a minority group. I think that it's appalling that we're willing to see those rights be taken away and watch them disappear without a fight. It's time to stand up and be heard. I know that through my photography I have a bit of an online following. I know that I have occasionally a pretty loud voice on the internet. So I thought that I would use it, make use of my resources and make an appeal that I not be the only person to speak up. This is a supremely important case. We don't have the ability to change the outcome, but regardless of the outcome, we do have the ability to change the perspective of our peers. We have the ability to shut somebody down if they spew hatred, to tell them that that's not appropriate. We have the ability to stand up tall and say that I believe in love, whether I'm gay or I'm straight or I'm in between or I'm asexual. I believe that love is a right and it's a happiness worth pursuing. So I'm here to say speak up, speak out, and talk about this. Don't let this be something that's not making the news cycle. Let's acknowledge that this is a fight about civil liberty. This is a fight about minority rights. And there's a small group of people in a closed courtroom that are deciding the shape of our culture and deciding whether to create an enmity and bash a minority down to the feet of the majority, or whether to help them stand and say, yes, you're one of us, even if you're different. I don't have much more to say than that. I just wanted to raise the topic. I want to start a conversation, I guess. Good luck, and thanks for listening.